I'm planning to do the even. So I'll start with number 2. What are 3 pairs of corresponding angles? 2 and 4 are corresponding. Angle 1 and angle 7 are corresponding. Angle 8 and angle 6 are corresponding. And angle 3 and angle 5 are corresponding. So these are all your corresponding angles. So your answer here is 1 and 7. They all have, well, this says 1 and 7, 2 and 4, 8 and 6. So it's going to be this one, D. What is the relationship between 4 and 5? That's alternate interior angles. So your answer is C. Which statement is true? Angle CBA and angle EBH are same side angles? No. Well, actually, I'm going to use a color marker here. So we have CBA and EBH. These are vertical angles. Okay, EBH, EBH, and EBED are not same-sided angles. Those are alternate interior angles. They're alternate interior angles. EBH and BED are alternate interior angles. I just finished saying that. So I'm assuming that the answer is C. CBA, let me use a different color. This is CBA and HBE. Those are vertical angles. So the only one that's true is C. This is a translation, and it's 3 units to the left, and then 3 units up. It should have been up. This is going down, so this one's incorrect. So we know that B is not the answer. We know that D is not the answer. And we know that A is not the answer. It has to be C. It's going to go 3 units and then 3 units up. So your answer is C. Number 10, it says find the length of the missing side. This is a right triangle. And so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I'm going to say that this is A. So we have A squared plus 10 squared equals 13 squared. So A squared equals 13 squared minus 10 squared, which is 169 minus 100. 169 minus 100, which gives you 69. So A, we're going to get the square root. You get the square root of the right side, the square root of the right side, the square root of that. So it's going to be A times the square root of 69. Once again, we have a right triangle, so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So this is A. So we have A squared plus 12 squared equals 18 squared. So A squared equals 18 squared minus 12 squared. So A squared equals 18 squared, which I don't know on top of my head. 18 squared is, 18 squared is 324. So you have 324 minus 144. So you subtract 144. So it's 180. You have to get the square root of 180. And you notice that it's not there. So this will be 9 times 20. 9 times 4 times 5. So 9 square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. We can't find the square root of 5, so we leave it like that. So it's 3 times 2 is 6 square root of 5. Now, if you get stuck and you want to check if this is the answer, you can just type it in. 6 square root of 5. And you want to check, does it equal square root of 180? In this case, it's true. So 14, we're going to use, remember the mnemonic statement, so, ka, toa. We know that this is adjacent, and this is your hypotenuse. So what uses adjacent hypotenuse? It's cosine. So you write cosine of 36 degrees. So settings. See, it was in radians, so you got to have it in degrees. Go to calculate. So now we have x, and you multiply it by 8. You multiply it by 8. So x is going to be 8 times the cosine of 36 degrees. So you have 8 trig cosine 36 degrees. And that gives you 6.4 or 6.5 feet. So for this right triangle, you have the adjacent side and you have the hypotenuse. Remember the mnemonic statement, sine is opposite of hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent of hypotenuse, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So we know that cosine of 36 degrees equals, cosine is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 12. You multiply by 12. So x equals 12 times the cosine of 36 degrees. So you're going to multiply 12 times trig cosine 36 degrees. So x gives you 9.7. So your answer is 8. It says 18, find the midpoints, find the coordinates of the midpoint of the segment whose endpoints are 6, 4, and 12, 8. So to find the midpoint, you're just going to get the x values, 6 plus 2, then you divide it by 2. The y values, 4 plus 8, and then divide it by 2. So we have 6 plus 2 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. And then 4 plus 8 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So the midpoint is 4, 6. So your answer is D. Number 20, it says find the coordinates of the midpoint whose segments are 5, 10, and 3, 4. So to find the midpoint, you get the x values, which is 5 and 3. You add them together, and then you divide by 2. And then you have 10 plus 4, and then you divide it by 2. So the midpoint is 5 plus 3 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. Divided by 2 is 7. So the midpoint is 4, 7. So your answer is D. To find the slope, what you can do is you can make a right triangle. And all you have to do is count the distance. Well, I know from here to here is 6 plus 3, which is 9. And then from here to here, it's going to be 4. No, not 4. It's 6 plus 1 is 7. 7. Okay, so slope is equal to rise over run. So in this case, it's going to rise 9 units and it's going to run 7. And this slope is positive. So we can automatically eliminate A and D. So your answer is B and it's not C. The word complement means the sum of the angles is 90. So it says the complement of angle 42. The complement of an angle is 42. What is the measure of the angle? So we know that the complement means that the sum of the angles is 90. So you have 90 minus 42. So it's 48. So your answer is 8. That means that 48 plus 42 will give you 90. 48 plus 42 will give you 90. It says the complement of an angle is 64. What is the measure of the angle? So all you have to do is subtract 90 minus 64. So that's 8. So 10 minus 4 is 6. So it's 26 degrees. So 26 plus 64 gives you 90. So that's a complement. So the answer is C. So what you have to remember in these problems, complement means that the sum of the angles is 90. For number 28, we have to find the angle. Now we do know that we have the adjacent and the opposite. So we have SO, CA, TOA. And opposite and adjacent is a tangent. So we know the tangent of x is the ratio of the opposite, which is 11, over the adjacent, which is 7. Now to find the angle, you're going to use the inverse function, 11 over 7. So you come over here to trig, inverse tangent, and then you're going to type in 11 divided by 7. And so it's going to be 57.5 degrees. Now you got to make sure that you're in degrees and not in radians. What other information do you need in order to prove triangles congruent using side angle side? Side angle side. It means that the corresponding sides have to be congruent, which these two are. They do share a side in common. So the only thing we need to know is, are these 90-degree angles? Because if they are 90-degree angles, then we can use side angle side. So that's why I decided to use answer B. AC, we got to check if AC is perpendicular to BD. Because if they're perpendicular, it forms a 90-degree angle. What other information do you need in order to prove the triangles congruent using side angle side? Well, we know that they share a common side. So that's the first part of the postulate. Side, we need to make sure the sides are congruent, corresponding sides. We know that angle BAC is congruent to angle CAD. That's what we CAD. Now, what else we would need is we'd have to have, is BA congruent to CD? Is AB congruent to AD? That's what we'd have to check. That would be the other information that's needed. We know that EF is 9x plus 17. We know that FG is 35. So EG is the entire distance. So how would you set this up? It'd be 9x plus 17 plus 35 equals 196. So you would add 17 and 35. In this case, it's 52. So you have 9x equals 9x plus 52 equals 196. We would go ahead and subtract 196 from 52, or 96 minus 52 gives you 144. And then we would divide by 9. So x is equal to 16, and that's what we're looking for. It says find the value of x. So your answer is B. EF is 8x plus 16. FG is 25. And then E to G is 121. So to set this up, we have 8x plus 16 plus 25 equals 121. So we have 8x plus 16 plus 25, 41 equals 121. Subtract 41 from 121. So you have 8x equals 80. Divide both sides by 8. So x equals 10. So your answer is 10. These two polygons are similar. We have AD is to JM as DC is to ML. So AD is 20. JM is 46. DC is 5. ML is X. So let's go ahead and multiply. So we have 20X, 20 times X, and then you have 5 times 6. 46 times, we have 46 times 5 now. So it's 230. Divided by 20 from both sides. To find X, we have to cross multiply. So we have 20 times X and 5 times. So your answer is C. So 42, we have similar polygons again. So we have AD is to JM as DC is to ML. So AD is 12, JM is 46, DC is 3 over X. So we have 12 times X, 12X, and then 46 times 3 is 8, 138. Divided by 12. So we have 138 divided by 12. 5. So the answer is B. 44, what is the equation in point slope form for a line parallel to y equals negative 2x plus 10? Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope here is negative 2. The formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we have y minus 8 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 6. So your answer is A because they want it in point slope form. So your answer is A. What is the equation in point slope form for a line that is parallel to y equals negative 4x minus 5? Okay, so parallel means that they have the same slope. So the other slope will have to be negative 4. The point that has to contain is 8, 4. So what's the formula? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So you have y minus 4 is equal to negative 4 times x minus 8. So you have y minus 4 equals negative 4 times x minus 8. So your answer is D. So 48 says to find the distance between 1, 1 and 6, 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a right triangle. If this is 1 and this is 6, then this is 5. If this is 1 and this is 8, then this is 7. So to find the hypotenuse, it's 5 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. So it's 25 plus 49 equals c squared. C squared equals 74, so you get the square root of both sides. So that's 8.6. So the distance is 8.6. So your answer is B. Find the distance between 6, 5, there's 6, 5, and 5, 2. So I know from this point to this point, it's 1. And I know from here, which is 2, to 5, that's 3. So to find the hypotenuse, C squared, it's going to be 1 squared plus 3 squared. So C squared equals, 3 squared is 9 plus 1. C squared equals 10, the square root of 10.